I'm Gary Gustafson. I'm the general manager here at Capizzi Improvement. I am the director of production here at Capizzi. I've been here for over 25 years, and I love this job. It's absolutely a family business. And working for both Toms it's incredible. So I actually started working for these guys as a helper over 25 years ago. Tom trained me up, and I just, kept on wanting to, climb the ladder, and he was willing to, give me opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. It's a lot of people in this company are, we're friends, also. It definitely is a family business. It has a family vibe. Yeah, so like I said, it started there as a helper. I knew about Capizzi. Capizzi has a great reputation. But my next door neighbor, literally my next door neighbor, was working for Capizzi. I've been doing new construction for a long time. Not for a long time, but call it, like 5-6 years. And I wanted to actually get into remodeling. And Mike would come home and he would have great days. He'd brag about the job, he'd brag about the company, he'd brag about the team. And I was like, I want to be part of it. So, I applied, Tom hired me. I was actually Mike's helper. Mike moved into a production management role. So I went from, being a helper to being what we call a project manager who runs the job site. And then from there, I ended up becoming a production manager, and then production manager for many years. And then Tom and I decided, let's promote you to director of production. I actually created the role. And then from there, there came a time where it was like, I think it's time for you to step up even further. And I agreed, let's, become the general manager. So it was a 25-year process. I've been here for over 25 years. So I've been the GM for maybe 4 or 5 years. I'm gonna give you a little statistic. A small business, SBA, Small Business Administration, this is a fact. 90% of home improvement contractors go out of business within 3 to 5 years. And they do it because they sell goods and services for less than they can afford to warrant the job. We stand behind everything. In 25 years, I've never started a project that I have not finished. And I don't think there's many companies out there. I'd say there's probably none, I guess there's an exception somewhere. But every single proposal that's ever hit my desk or anybody else's, we have completed the project. I don't think too many people can say that. And so the integrity that stands behind, that's within the company it's very fulfilling, so it's the right place to be when you have such good leadership like the owner, and just, the fact that we're gonna do the job to the best of our ability. I can tell you that. Yeah, well, so we're just very fortunate in that respect. We have men that have been working on us for decades. Literally, I could name off, 15 people that are working for us for over 10 years, and some, 20 years. Employee Matt Rue, who actually, Matt Rue would be the longest. Actually, he came in a few months before me. Like the saying goes, we hire slow, fire fast. You go through the interview process, we have a whole background stuff. Tell us exactly where they rate themselves on all the different trades that we have to do. So I get a good feel for what they feel like they are capable of doing and all the different aspects in remodeling. And then, of course, we go out there, we start them off, working with somebody, and we, of course, we check on them, and we look for that, that tradesman that has a good eye, that steps back and look at his work and makes sure that it's what the customer, the client wants. So we just, again, it's partly luck, but it's got to have a lot to do with our reputation. We attract the best, So we have a field of men that I would consider that could rival anybody. So I think we're just fortunate and lucky. Of course, we check on them. We help them through their problems, challenges, situations. And when we find a keeper, we keep them. We do whatever we can to satisfy them. So we got the internal client and the external client. We want everyone to be successful and happy. So we work with our men that work with us just like as if it was a client out there. We want to make them happy and successful. So that's what helps us keep them, and we just attract, I would think that we just attract the right type. We have a very specific system So it all starts with the phone call. When they call us, they meet with the project consultant. Then after the project consultant is awarded the project, it's passed into the office. The office has firewalls to make sure that all the paperwork is the way it's supposed to be. And after the admin staff approves the project, then it's passed on to the production staff. So that's myself and one of the other 3 guys. And so then we have what we call a remeasure process. And so after it's been passed to production, we give the client a call within a couple of weeks and make sure we get out there, sooner the better, and actually review it. And a lot of times they'll bring the sales consultant. So we will review the project, word by word with the client. So it would be a production manager, it's going to be the salesman or the saleswoman, and go over it all, look over the job site. So this is really a dot your I's, cross your T's process. So, of course, we have the opportunity to meet each other, and we talk about the logistics, where we're going to put the dumpster, where the truck's going to be, where's the materials going to be, what's accessibility going to be. And after the remeasure process is done, so that's one of my favorite parts. So you get to meet the client and see the job, beyond the paper. Then it goes into our scheduling process, so we have a lead time. And when their job's ready, we call and we set up what we call a pre-construction meeting. So at the pre-construction meeting, that's when you're going to have the production manager and the sales consultant. We're going to go over the whole thing again. So this is really a 3rd time with the client. So the client, just obviously went over the project when there was review with the sales consultant, went over the project again with the production manager at the remeasure, and now we're going it over again with the project manager. And the project manager is also approving the job. He wants to, does everything look right? Can I do this exactly the way it's laid out on the paper? And so then, of course, we do the job. There's the life of the job, start, middle, the end. And then the goal is to have 100% client satisfaction. We got this corny little thing we call it like raving fan. We want all our clients to be raving fans. So we want you to want to tell your neighbor about us. And we check. You gotta inspect. What you expect. So we have a third-party guild quality that actually goes and double checks, calls the client, asks them to rate us on a scale of 1 to 10, various things. And all the field staff know that it's they're going to be rated, the production manager is going to be rated, the sales consultant is going to be rated, and it keeps us on our toes, to know that's out there. And so there's the goal, is to have 100% client satisfaction and create a raving fan. So, that's in short, the life of a job. We run into so many challenges in remodeling, so it's almost crazy every day, we're working on old houses. We run into situations where, you start to excavate and you find out there's actually not an adequate foundation in the house, and the next thing you know, you're supporting the building, their foundation's falling up from underneath their house, and we gotta go in there and save the day. I have tons of projects, that I remember and stand out. But I think actually, it's the people that I remember even more than the project, So it's, meeting the people, building a relationship, I think I have 1,100 contacts on my phone, So, and I love it when a client calls from years before, and they always expect me to be there,